Alright, so if you're planning a trip to Rome, one thing that you definitely don't want to deal with is landing and realizing that you have absolutely no data. I mean, how are you supposed to open Google Maps for directions, book a ride, or even message your family or friends to let them know you got there safely? That's exactly why I personally started using eSIMs while traveling. And the one I found to be the easiest and most reliable is Saily eSIM. So in this video, I'll walk you through how Saily eSIM works, their plans and pricing that they offer, and a few pros and cons. So by the end, you'll know if it's something worth considering for your next trip to Rome. And if at any point you decide to give Saily a try, you can use my code GVUTech when you download the Saily app or visit their website to get 15% off of your plan. And so without further ado, let's get right into it. Alright, so if you haven't heard of Saily before, it's basically a digital SIM card, or eSIM, that lets you connect to the internet when you're traveling abroad, without needing to buy a physical SIM or pay insanely expensive roaming fees. It's actually run by Nord Security, which is the same company behind NordVPN, so privacy and security are definitely part of the package. And what I like is that Saily works in over 200 countries and regions, including Rome. And what's crazy is that when I first started using it about a year ago, they were only available in about 150 countries, so it's definitely improved. On top of that, they've also added some cool new features like ad blocking, web protection, and even a virtual location feature. So it's not just about staying connected anymore. It also helps keep your browsing a little more private and secure. Okay, so if you've never used an eSIM before, don't worry, it's actually super easy, and that's one of the reasons I like Saily so much. First, you just download the Saily app from the App Store or Google Play, or you can use their website if that's easier. Then you pick your destination. So for Rome, just choose the Italy plan, and from there you'll see different options based on how much data you need and how long you'll be traveling for. Once you pick your plan, the app walks you through the setup step by step. You just follow the instructions to install your eSIM, and it usually takes just a couple of minutes. One thing to keep in mind is that you do need a Wi-Fi or data connection to activate it, so it's best to install it before your flight and then activate it as soon as you land. Once it's active, your phone will connect to a local network in Rome immediately. No kiosks, no SIM swaps, no stress. Just land and you're online. And if your phone supports 5G, you might even get those speeds depending on where you are in the city. You can also track your data usage directly in the app, and topping up is super quick and easy. It only takes a few minutes. That being said, when it comes to the pricing for Rome, it's the same as the general Saily plans for all of Italy, so you don't need to search for anything Rome specific. Whether you're spending your entire trip in the city or traveling around the country, the prices stay the same. If you're only going to be in Italy for a short trip and just need data for light things like using Google Maps, messaging, or checking your email, there is a 1 GB plan that lasts for 7 days for just under $4. If you'll be there for longer or just want a bit more data, there's a 3 GB plan for around $9 and a 5 GB plan for about $13. Both of those are valid for 30 days, which gives you plenty of time to use them without rushing. Now, if you're planning to post on social media, use GPS often, or maybe stream a little, there's a 10 GB plan for just under $21 and a 20 GB plan for about $29, both of which are also valid for 30 days. But if you're the type who doesn't want to worry about running out of data at all, they've got an unlimited plan for just under $50. It lasts for 15 days and gives you high-speed data every day. Once you hit the daily limit, the speed just slows down a bit, but you'll still stay connected. And if you're planning to visit more than just Italy, like maybe you're traveling over to France, Spain, or anywhere else in Europe, Saily also has regional plans that work across multiple countries. So instead of buying a separate plan for every destination, you can just get one eSIM that keeps you connected throughout your entire trip. And like I mentioned earlier, if you do want to try it out, make sure to use my discount code GVUTech at checkout when you download the Saily app. It'll get you 15% off of your plan, which always helps. Alright, so over the past year, I've used Saily in a bunch of different countries, and I've honestly had a really solid experience with it. Not just in terms of staying connected, but also with the little features that make it smoother and more secure than other eSIMs I've tried. One of the first things I noticed was how long my data actually lasted. Normally when I travel, I burn through it way faster than I expect. But with Saily, the ad blocker made a huge difference. I wasn't wasting data on pop-up ads, background autoplay videos, or other random stuff. Pages loaded faster, everything felt cleaner, and I didn't feel like my data was disappearing for no reason. Then the web protection and virtual location tools are also features I've come to really appreciate, especially when connecting to public Wi-Fi in places like airports, hotels, and cafes. It's just nice knowing that you have that extra layer of privacy. And the virtual location feature helped me access some of the apps and content I normally use back home, which was a really nice bonus. I also love how easy it is to manage everything. The app shows you exactly how much data you've used. It gives you a heads up when you're getting low, and topping up takes literally a few taps. I've never had to panic about running out or scramble to figure out a new plan mid-trip. And in terms of speed and reliability, I've had a strong connection every time I've used it, whether I was using Google Maps to navigate, sharing photos, or video calling family. No random drops or buffering, and definitely no slow, frustrating data like I've experienced with other services. But just keep in mind that Saily is data only, so you'll need to use messaging apps like WhatsApp, FaceTime, or Telegram for calls and texts. But honestly, that's how most of us communicate anyway these days, so I think that for most people, this really isn't a big deal. Also, you want to just make sure that your phone is eSIM compatible before buying a plan. Most newer phones are, but it's worth checking just to be safe. Overall, Saily's made staying connected while traveling so much easier. It's affordable, secure, and simple, and it saves you from the stress of dealing with physical SIM cards in every new country. So to wrap it all up, if you're heading to Rome and want an easy, dependable way to stay connected without the hassle of swapping SIM cards or dealing with crazy roaming charges, I'd definitely recommend checking out Saily. It was super easy to set up, worked smoothly, and honestly saved me time, stress, and a ton of data throughout my trips. What I really liked is that you don't lose service when crossing borders. Plus, those extra features like the ad blocker and web protection are a big bonus, especially if you're using public Wi-Fi or just trying to make your data last longer. So if you're looking for a simple and secure way to stay connected while you travel, I really think Saily is worth checking out. And don't forget, if you want to try it out, you can use my discount code GVUTech at checkout to get 15% off of your plan when you download the Saily app or visit their website. Thanks so much for watching, and I hope this helped you figure out if Saily is the right fit for your next trip. Safe travels, and I'll see you in the next video.